Hello, my dear students. Today, lecture number 3 is going on. The topic, namely atomic structure. Today, we have to discuss the nature of radiation spectra as well as Planck's quantum theory. First, let us consider the nature of radiation. Every radiation, starting from cosmic rays up to radio waves, including great radiations, all the radiations are considered to be electromagnetic radiations, simply represented as EMR. All the radiation, every radiation you can take, every radiation can be resolved into two components. What are those two components? One is electrical field, namely electrical vector. Other one is magnetic field, namely magnetic vector. In these two components, this can be resolved, which are perpendicular to each other. And here, when this is the electrical vector of the radiation, this is the magnetic vector of the radiation. All are traveling in the waveform. And here, these two are perpendicular to each other. One is along the y-axis, electrical vector. Other one is the z-axis, that is magnetic vector, magnetic field or magnetic radiation. And here, the direction of propagation of light, when these two are meeting at these particular points, join these points, this becomes the direction of the propagation of light radiation or radiation. And in this way, this direction of propagation of light radiation is along the x-axis. That means the direction of propagation of light is perpendicular to both the directions of electrical wave as well as the magnetic wave. That is the nature of radiation. So the direction of propagation of light radiation is along the x-axis, which is perpendicular to both the directions of electrical wave and magnetic wave. This is the first consideration you have to take. Later, every radiation will be taken in the form of wave. It is traveling in the form of wave, which is having wave nature of the radiation. A wave is nothing but the continuous sequence of crests and troughs. It is in the form of wave like this. This is the imaginary horizontal line. This is the waveform of the radiation here. And here, along the x-axis if you take, this is the displacement along the in the upward direction, and this is the displacement in the downward direction. This is the displacement in the downward direction, namely A. This is the waveform of the radiation. So every wave can be treated as a continuous sequence of crests and troughs. The top point here, this is called crest. The bottom point here, this is called trough. Crest, trough, crest, trough, crest, trough. Like this, alternating sequence of crests and troughs is nothing but the waveform of the radiation. And such radiations, waveform radiations, will be having certain characteristics. And what are those characteristics you have to study? So here, what are the characteristics of the wave? Characteristics of the wave. Characteristics of the wave. First one is the wavelength, represented by lambda. Represented by lambda. What is the wavelength here? You have to take two consecutive successive crests or two successive troughs or two successive similar points. This is the point, similar point is here. This can be treated as the lambda. So, what is the wavelength here? Distance between two successive crests or two successive troughs is called wavelength, represented by lambda. This wavelength can be measured in angstroms. You have to now write the units. That is more important. Units, you may write in angstroms. 1 angstrom unit is equal to 10 to the power of minus 8 centimeters. Or 1 angstrom unit is equal to 10 to the power of minus 10 meters. Or you have to now take nanometers. 1 nanometer is equal to 10 angstrom units. 1 nanometer is equal to 10 angstrom units. In what we can write here, 1 angstrom unit is equal to 10 to the power of minus 10 meters. This is equal to 10 to the power minus 1 into 10 to the power minus 9 meters. 10 to the power minus 9 meters is equal to nanometer. So 10 to the power minus 1 nm. Therefore, 1 nm is equal to 10 angstroms. So 1 nm is equal to 10 angstroms. 1 angstrom is equal to 10 to the power 10 meters. 1 angstrom is equal to 10 to the power 8 centimeters. Or simply you can express the wavelength in angstroms also, which is measurable. So this is the first characteristic of the wave. The second one, frequency. This is more important. Generally we will consider for most waves frequency represented by nu, nu, represented by nu here. What is meant by nu? For this purpose you have to take a point in a medium. Suppose this is the point I am now taking. From this point, how many waves are passing through in 1 second in a medium? So here, what is meant by wave? One wavelength is equal to one wave you have to consider here. So if you take this point, this is the point you are considering, this is the wave. Such waves you have to consider how many of these waves are passing through this point in 1 second in a medium. That is called the frequency. So here, number of waves passing through a particular point in a medium in 1 second is called frequency. Frequency represented by nu. Frequency represented by nu. And what is the unit here? What is the unit? This is 1 cycle. Second cycle. 1 wave can be treated as 1 cycle. Cycles per second. Cycles per second. This can be written as CPS. 1 CPS is also called as 1 hertz. Hertz is represented by Hz. This is also sometimes written as CPS per second, second inverse. Second inverse, hertz or CPS is the unit of frequency. So this is about the frequency, second characteristic. Similarly, you have to take the wave number. The third one is wave number. Wave number represented by nu bar. It is nothing but reciprocal. It is nothing but the reciprocal of wavelength. So here nu bar is equal to 1 by lambda. So number of waves spread in 1 centimeter length. Number of waves spread in 1 centimeter length is called wave number, represented by nu bar. Simply mathematically it is written nu bar is 1 by lambda. Lambda is expressed in centimeters. In the numerator, what is the unit then? Cm Going to the numerator, it becomes Cm inverse. Cm inverse is the unit of nu bar. Now, let us consider the relationship between lambda and nu. Here, as the lambda is increased, the number of waves passing through the point will be decreased. Only lesser number of waves will be passing through. And so, both are inversely proportional to each other. And that is why nu is proportional to 1 by lambda, or even you can write lambda is proportional to 1 by nu. That means, if you take the multiplication, lambda into nu is equal to proportionality constant, that is constant. That constant is nothing but the c, which is equal to velocity of light. And that is the universal constant. Velocity of light is universal constant. It is constant for all the radiations. Its value is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 10 centimeters per second, or 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. Both units you have to remember. And here, as lambda v is constant, we can write it as lambda 1 v1 is equal to lambda 2 v2. Or even you can write it as lambda 1 by lambda 2 is equal to nu 2 by nu 1. Inversely proportional. And that is why you can write it as lambda 1 is to lambda 2 is equal to nu 2 is to nu 1. And one more relation you can bring, that is nu is equal to c by lambda, but 1 by lambda is equal to nu bar. And therefore, nu is also equal to c into nu bar. This is another relationship you have to remember. Conversion of one parameter into other parameter. Now, let us take this relationship. Lambda into nu is a constant. That constant is nothing but this c. So, nu is equal to c by lambda. That we have written here. Or lambda is equal to c by nu. This relationship you have to remember for solving the problems. Let us take one example here, a problem. Calculate the frequency of radiation of 4000 angstroms. You have to calculate the frequency for that radiation. Whenever the problems are done, you have to take care about the substitution of the values in the same units. Same units you have to use. In the numerator as well as in the denominator, same units must be applied. And now, the problem here, lambda is equal to 4000 angstroms. This is equal to 4000 into 10 to the power minus 8 cm. This simply you can write it as 4 into 10 to the power 3 into 10 to the power minus 8 cm. This is equal to 4 into 10 to the power minus 5 cm. This is the lambda given. In cm I am substituting. And here you have to take the value of c also. C is equal to, in centimeters, 3 into 10 to the power 10 centimeters per second. This is the unit. Now, you know the relationship. Nu is equal to c by lambda. What is c here? 3 into 10 to the power 10 centimeter into second inverse by 4 into 10 to the power of minus 5 cm. Cm get cancelled. This is equal to 3 by 4, 0.75 into 10 to the power minus 5, going to the numerator, it becomes 10 to the power plus 5. This is equal to 10 to the power 15, second inverse. At least you have to write one single whole number, so point shifted to right side, 7.5 into 10 to the power minus 1. Thereby, it becomes 10 to the power 14, second inverse. This is the way of doing the problems. Substituting the values in the same units, don't forget. Whatever units are applied in the numerator, same units must be applied in the denominator also. Otherwise, the problem goes wrong. That is the general mistake mostly committed by the students. So, learn that. So, this is the case of wavelength, frequency and wave number. Next, you have to consider amplitude. Next, you have to consider amplitude. Represented by A. It is nothing but the maximum displacement in the upward direction of the wave, or the maximum displacement in the downward direction. That means This is the imaginary horizontal line. From this line to the crest, what is the distance? From this line to from this point to this point, namely a trough. The distance between these 2 points is called A. So this is nothing but maximum displacement of the wave in the upward direction, that is crest, or downward direction, that is trough. So this is the definition of A. What is the meaning of A here? The amplitude indicates the intensity of the radiation. You have to remember the property, intensity of the radiation. That is more important. All the radiation will be the same wavelength. You have to take the radiations have the same wavelength. When they are more in number, you have to say that the intensity is more and more. Suppose these are the radiations which are present. This is the lambda. If the radiations having the wavelength lambda is increased, then the intensity is increased. In what way you can show here? Just like this. This point raised to this point, this point raised to the point, and similarly here also, here also. Now, you are taking this point, coming to this, taking this point, coming to this, taking this point, coming to this, like this. If you take the distance between these two, same lambda. Lambda is not changed. Lambda is not changed. But the amplitude is changed here. Amplitude is changed. The height is changed. That means the number of radiations having the same wavelength is increased. That is the meaning of intensity. And the intensity of the radiation is increased. Having the same wavelength, same radiations will be increased more in number. Then only you have to use the word intensity. Intensity of the radiation means the same wavelength radiation is increased. Now, it doesn't mean that its energy is increased. Never. The energy remains the same as the radiation, but its number will be increased. That is the fourth property. Next one you have to consider here is energy, the most important term, represented by E. Represented by E. Every radiation will be associated with a certain amount of energy. And that energy is increased as the frequency is increased, energy is increased as the wavelength is decreased. So here, energy is proportional to nu. As the frequency is increased, energy is increased. And here, E is also proportional to 1 by lambda. And here, when proportional is replaced by an equality, you have to bring a constant here. You have to bring a constant. What is that constant? It is Planck's constant. E is equal to h nu. E is equal to, here we can write nu is equal to 1 by lambda, c by lambda, and just the h into c by lambda. Here this is equal to h into nu bar, nu means c by lambda, and that is why we are writing it c by lambda. This is the way. H is Planck's constant, universal constant. H is Planck's constant. And what is the value here? H is equal to 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 27 erg into second. This is the value of it. You have to remember all. And you have to apply Joule also in the MKS system, and that is why H is equal to 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 Joule into second. Simply 1 joule is equal to 10 to the power 7 ergs. And that is why you have to divide it by 10 to the power 7, that becomes 10 to the minus 34 joule per second. Whenever energy is applied in MKS system, you have to use the unit joule. If it is in the CS system, you have to apply the unit erg. So this is the unit of H, joule into second or erg into second. This is the H Planck's constant. And now we can derive one more here. What is meant by E1 by E2? E1 by E2. Here E is equal to H nu. So E1 by E2 is equal to nu1 by nu2. E is proportional to 1 by lambda. This is also equal to lambda 2 by lambda 1. E is also equal to H into C by lambda. H constant, C constant. And therefore, this is also equal to nu bar 1 by nu bar 2. This is the very, very important relationship between the energy and wave number, wavelengths and frequency. Basing on this, we can do several problems. So this is about the radiation.